You know, you don't need to tell Kingdom Hearts fans how silly the series is. We know. Of course it's goofy, it came with the sandwich. Yes, there are awkward trailers, out of context lines
Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness?
that we fans think are funny, but there's a certain point where these elements break containment and it becomes less a charm, adding character on top of what the games really excel at, and more shaping what the general public believes Kingdom Hearts is. What makes it frustrating is the knowledge that there is actually more to it. It's something every Kingdom Hearts fan, every Tetsuya Nomura enjoyer knows very well. For some reason, fans of the franchise know they just have to politely nod along and make anyone who very originally assesses the series with the same 3 jokes feel that yes, forget anything it does well. There's a mouse in here I just can't get down with. Hey everyone, my name is Christian, this is Rantable, and this is your sign to check in on the Kingdom Hearts fans in your life. So I recognize in tackling this topic, I'm speaking to 2 distinct groups of people right now. For the people who already enjoy Kingdom Hearts, listen, I get it. To those who find themselves on the outside and want a glimpse, a little peek behind the curtain of what it's like supporting this brand salad unironically, I want you to walk with me here. Imagine that there's a show that you just love. It's got great characters, focuses on their bonds with each other, features some electric set piece moments fueled by those bonds, be them positive or negative, and it's all portrayed with some of the most impressive music and stylish visual direction that you've seen in the medium. Now, how would you feel if you recommended that show to a friend and their response is something like, it's animated? Dude, wait, you actually like this? You know this is for children, right? I know, most people know that feeling. It's probably triggering memories of you going through that exact experience in this moment. Now imagine facing that sentiment amplified by an entire internet who thinks they're quite clever for the better part of your 28 years on the planet. Now I get the battle I'm fighting here. I'm not saying every common held belief about Kingdom Hearts is wrong. Rather, these assessments of its story, characters, writing, etc. either often miss the forest for the trees or flat out just don't give the series the flowers it does deserve. For instance, when we're talking about the greatest action RPGs of all time, I know how this sounds, but if you know, you know. If Kingdom Hearts 2 isn't in the conversation, entire discussion is invalid. Much like their stories, Kingdom Hearts, as a video game with buttons you press to do combat, has a lot more depth to it than it leads on. Especially when you look at the greater challenge of higher difficulties or the popular challenge runs like only using the Kingdom Key or a level 1 run. You really have your eyes opened to the layers of these combat systems and what the games ask of you. Like, call Kingdom Hearts a button masher all you want. Go ahead and fight Yozora, better yet, get to Yozora, or go and fight Sephiroth or Lingering Will. I will wait a good while. Seeing how frequently the online gaming community usually puts so much respect on a game or series for having great combat that challenges the player, pushes them to their limits, and rewards them for learning the intricacies of it, Kingdom Hearts is sorely missing from a lot of this action game conversation. I say this as somebody who adores From Software games and has platinumed several of them. Nothing that I have accomplished in those games is harder than the hardest boss fight in the Kingdom Hearts series. Some of you may be surprised to hear that, and if you like action games, I can't recommend playing these enough, but an equal number may be scoffing, guffawing, telling yourselves, surely there's no way this game featuring the Little Mermaid can be challenging. And that brings us to the real frustration, the real horror of being a Kingdom Hearts fan. There's truly nothing like Kingdom Hearts. In an age of everything needing to be a franchise and the concept of the multiverse being used as this endless well of chances to drum up reaction-worthy viral moments, I feel Kingdom Hearts is an outlier in these realms that consistently manages to be the most earnest use of intellectual property to tell a story about characters and their relationships with themselves and others that I've ever seen. Because beyond Mickey Mouse or Elsa, Jack Sparrow, or the Little Mermaid, the players who return to Kingdom Hearts game after game understand that these are not just recycled familiar toys that you recognize smashing together with a man from Final Fantasy talking about darkness, but rather a carefully curated repurposing of familiar Disney plots and structure to serve the character arcs of Sora, Ventus, Aqua, really whoever's in the starring role. Now I get the math. Plenty of people are not fans of Final Fantasy, and plenty more are not fans of Disney. So to many, combining those things, good lord. What I can't understand is how so many people who have not played these games feel like they have a concrete understanding of what it is, or rather a concrete understanding that it's incomprehensible. So much so that the series' very identity has become a shorthand for disliking when any kind of narrative has a lot of moving pieces. The number of times that I have had to read Kingdom Hearts nonsense outside of the realm of Kingdom Hearts, it's pretty high. This is just a part of the reality of being a fan of the series. Now, unfortunately, there is something the public believes about Kingdom Hearts that does contribute to this myth that the series is actually impossible to follow or makes no sense. The titling. Now, I don't mean how obtuse some of the titles can be in themselves, rather the fact that I think the titles Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are incredibly misleading. I think the best way to look at these numbered Kingdom Hearts games, 1, 2, 3, and now 4, is like their big climactic Avengers films. Now ask yourself, would you only watch Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame? Or would you watch the in-between projects that build out the world, the characters, and provide the motivations and structure for each of these big Avengers movies? Better yet, would you only subject yourself to watching the Avengers films and then get mad that you don't understand why there's so much time spent on the Guardians of the Galaxy? Now, in the realm of Kingdom Hearts, I can even see how those who played the games on the PS2 still contribute to this idea that there's too much going on to follow in the series. It's a perception problem. Because the game, everyone wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to be, upon finishing Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PS2, you know, that incredible old YouTube upload, it actually ended up being a PSP game that many people skipped for a variety of reasons. But like the MCU, this entry is pretty pivotal to that next big Avengers project, or in this case, Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, it was one thing as they were releasing, having them fragmented across the Game Boy Advance, the PSP, the DS, and the 3DS, then turning a PS2 duology into a very expensive ongoing narrative. But the pricing and release platform doesn't mean that the story, explanations, and plot bridging these numbered games together just doesn't exist. Today, though, it is all in one package, titled that even. But like I said, by and large, Kingdom Hearts fans have accepted this is a losing battle. We can't convince people the series makes sense if you just play all the games. We will never win. If the only thing that Kingdom Hearts fans had to deal with was this disconnect about what the series actually is and what it's perceived to be, that brings ridicule to the series and its fans, mostly born out of not giving the games a chance, that would be one thing, and would be manageable enough. What makes it worse is that the series itself is really not doing us any favors. You should have seen the looks that I was given in the final years of that road to Kingdom Hearts 3 launching when I tried to tell people that this extensive, long wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 was the exception rather than the rule. For years, Kingdom Hearts was a near annualized series. Don't let anyone try and tell you otherwise. But today, well, yeah, if anything besides that absurd titling of some Kingdom Hearts games actually props up the way people think about it or talk about it online, is the fact that the games do take forever to come out now. These two unfortunate truths about Kingdom Hearts have done so much damage to pitching newcomers on the series. Because if these two things are true, then surely everything else the public says about Kingdom Hearts must be true. Now listen, I'm all for games taking all the time they need, especially when it's a game that I care so much about being good. But to have 3 years of silence about Kingdom Hearts 4 after its reveal, only to be met with a collage of JPEGs? Mostly as a make good for canceling a mobile project? Yeah, the optics are not great, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite gaming series of all time is wearing an irremovable, incorrect name tag stapled to it by the greater gaming culture, and I have to accept that the series' greatest strengths will never get the flowers they deserve. Meanwhile, the series itself is more or less leaving me and everyone who swears by it on red for several years at a time. But if you, understandably, are thinking, why bother being a fan of the series if it's this exhausting to just exist in online spaces and see the franchise talked about in this way? Why go on this endless treadmill of trying to vouch for the series over and over to convince somebody to try it out? If you are a fellow Kingdom Hearts fan, you know what I'm about to say. These games all leave a lasting impression. Even the bad ones, they all supply something truly singular in one way or another. The style, writing, and earnestness of the Kingdom Hearts series has influenced a generation of players who have been able to grow alongside it and have it inform their own works, be it writing, art, game design, or just helping define their taste and what they look for in their stories. Whenever somebody does give it a shot and has a moment of realization when they finally get it, it makes it worth it and lets me keep rolling with the punches. So on the precipice, at least I hope, of Kingdom Hearts 4, a game that may very well end up teeing up the grand finale that Nomura has begun talking about in relation to the series as a whole, I find myself once again hoping that some people will see the light. If the recent output of Square Enix is anything to go on, what has been teased for Kingdom Hearts 4 and the heights that I and many other people know the series can achieve is any indication at all of how great this next game could be, I know there are plenty of folks who would absolutely love to be there for what is coming. Even now, at the end of this video, I still know I'm fighting a losing battle, but I've seen several friends finally listen to me in recent years, give Kingdom Hearts a chance, and are right now beside me, also fighting this impossible battle. If at any point throughout this video you were surprised, intrigued, or found something truly unbelievable, really just give the first two games a chance and see if it speaks to you in any way. Well, the first game, and then maybe watch something about Chain of Memories because the combat in the one is a little bit weird that I don't want to have to put you off of the rest of the series, and then play 2 because that is an all-timer, I promise you. 1 and 2 with a little movie intermission in between. So I hope the non-Kingdom Hearts fans have enjoyed this little peek behind the curtain of what it's like loving this series despite its reputation against your better judgment, and I hope fans have been able to laugh or at least feel acknowledged for their patience when talking about Kingdom Hearts Online. I understand, I'm one of you. So what do you think about the state of Kingdom Hearts and its fanbase in 2025? For more on Kingdom Hearts 4, gaming, and future episodes of Rantable, be sure to stay tuned to GameRant.com.